I wanted to share something that I'm hoping somebody watching this can relate to. So I've been going around to the places where I grew up. I went to, for example, I started school at 3 years old. By the time I went to the first grade, I had been in school for 4 years. Is that right? At least 3 years, because I went to something called Head Start and I was 3. And then I went to pre-kindergarten when I was 4. And then I went to kindergarten when I was 5. And then I was 6 in the first grade. I think that's how it went. Anyway, so I've been visiting these places, and there was one particular place that I went to. The address was 1700 Hoe Avenue. It's 2 in the 5 train to 174th Street, where Boston Road meets Southern Boulevard. And I hadn't been there, I don't know. I think I was maybe 10 the last time I was there. So I was able to enter the building, and it was much smaller than how I remembered the hallway, but nothing had changed. It was exactly like the same. It was really weird. Anyway, I lived on the first floor, so when I saw the door, it was at the far end of the hallway, and I went to it, and I suddenly got really emotional. I'm trying to get B footage. I'm collecting B footage for my single To Sir With Love, which I release tomorrow. It's one of the songs on my Spanglish album, and I'm releasing every single song because I don't have any fillers on my album. Every single song on that album is about something in my life. And so I just had this experience. I didn't realize how much I had carried since the time that I was a child. That particular apartment, when I was 5 years old, I wasn't allowed to use the stove, but I used to take care of my infant sister, and I used to have to heat up her milk in her baby bottle in a pot of hot running water, so that by the time she was awake, she could have warm milk. Like, I thought about all that stuff. I thought about my mom, having illness, mental illness, and she had tried to commit suicide a few times in that apartment. And there was one time in particular that was so horrible. And I relived all of it like at once. As I stood at the door, I was so afraid that somebody would open it, even though I wanted to see if it looked the same inside. Anyway, so many memories came rushing back, and I didn't realize how much of it I carried. To Sir With Love is a song that, it was a movie that I watched over and over and over, and I promised myself as a 8-year-old child that I was going to record that song one day. And so much has happened since then, and the truth is that I didn't think I would do it, and I'm really proud of it. So I think that I want the music video to be just like the lives that I've lived from the time that I was a child to now, and I'm piecing it together. And so I went there, and I felt like I left something there. It was as if the tiny child version of me was trapped in that apartment, and it's like I went to the door, and she could see me now. Like, she could see that everything she went through as a child, that she's okay. You know what I mean? I don't know. I thought I should share that. You don't have to carry old pain, I guess is what I'm saying. And I know this like consciously, but the experience of it was really incredible. I just felt different. There's a story and there's a pain that I carry in my heart, and it was like that little girl. Every aspect of who we've been still exists in the world, and I think they're trapped in the places we used to be, the spirit version of them. And I really, really felt that. I really felt like that little girl was still trapped there, and she was still very sad, and the only thing that saved her was music. Like I played music when I wasn't doing chores or taking care of my little sister, and then eventually my little brother. I didn't, it's how I played, because I didn't have a childhood like most kids have a childhood. Music and acting in front of my mirror was what I did to play, Anyway, I wanted to share that because you really can free yourself from your past. One of the things I've come to is that parents really do the best that they can. And we all make mistakes, and you have to learn to forgive.